Our third trip to China is now complete and we spent over 2 months in China that time around. So you guys have some questions for us to round up our experiences and things that we enjoyed and disliked in China. But check out this amazing view behind us from gorgeous Pakistan.
So question number 1, 3 things that you dislike and 3 things that you like about China.
Right, I'll go for like. I love how easy it is to get around, whether that's the metros, buses, the high-speed trains, flights. Everything's very accessible. There's transportation straight to the airports, easy to get to the train stations. It's probably the best out of any country we've ever been to, and it is very affordable, whether it's the metro, which is usually under £1 per ticket, or to travel hundreds of kilometres. It's very, very reasonable priced.
China is extremely safe. Like, you can walk down any street at any time, even in the middle of the night, the quietest, darkest, dingiest street, you can walk down it, you'll be fine. You can even be sitting in a coffee shop and go to the toilet and leave your laptop on the table and nobody's going to touch it. It's just like a different level. Like, you don't have to watch your stuff or worry about anyone there.
The third thing is that China is actually very walkable. Me and Alan love to just wander, enjoy the views, get to feel what it's like to be in that country, and anywhere you go in China is completely walkable. The paths are clean, they're big, there's cycle paths as well, and you can also get up bikes on the side of the street, so it really is for everyone.
Yeah, our average step count in China when we left was just over 24,000 steps a day, which is around 13 miles a day. Now, I am down to 6,000 steps a day here in Pakistan, so that's a massive difference, and we just, as Shannon said, love walking everywhere. Now, 3 things we dislike. I will struggle to pick 3. Number 1 is everyone thinks you're paid by the CCP, and it's so annoying getting accused of being paid by something when you're not paid.
Wish we were.
Yeah, we would take the money if it's there. I know, everyone thinks we have this money coming in, but we don't.
We don't.
I wish we did.
The second thing, and this has been a little bit picky, but there is a lack of like the human interaction in China, just because the massive language barrier. We obviously don't speak Chinese and a lot of people don't speak English. You will find more English speaking people in like Beijing, Shanghai, and some people will come up and speak to you that are maybe moving to the UK or abroad to study. But yeah, that's something that we definitely miss, because you don't really get to ask many questions about things, and even when we went to some of the museums as well, it was almost like a bit of a waste of time because everything's wrote in Chinese, so we didn't really know what was going on.
Okay, top 3 favourite places in China. Can I go first?
Well, let's see if we've
got the same. Okay, number 1 for you.
Oh, like top spot?
Top spot.
Dali.
Same.
Yes!
Second, I will put Kashgar.
Yeah, I would say so.
And where's your third?
Third? Dali, Kashgar, Wuhan. Is that yours?
Yes.
No way.
That's so creepy. We can't pick the same 3. That's horrible. I'll pick something different.
Maybe Shanghai, but that was the first place we went.
We didn't really know what we were doing in Shanghai though.
I would love to go back.
Same. We had no idea what we were doing.
No, completely overwhelmed.
Yeah. Chongqing. I'd like to go and give Chongqing another whack. Chongqing's a cool city. We need to spend like a year there. I think it's the biggest city in the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And, like, literally no one's even heard of it outside China. Why did we not learn Chinese better? Well, for one, it's really difficult. We've done it in a very short space of time.
5 days.
5 days, yeah. But also, as Shanna said, when people do come up to you and speak to you in the street, they want to practice their English, because they don't get to speak to English-speaking people a lot, so it's an opportunity. They just come up and start a full conversation with you, and it's not really fair to take that away from them because they don't get much practice. So whenever we did speak to anybody, it was in English so they could practice it, because it's going to be more valuable for them than us probably. But we did try.
We tried. We know 1 to 10.
Yeah, I know Hun Hao. I actually said Hun Hao when somebody asked how our dinner was here in Pakistan, which was, well, he didn't really understand what I meant anyway. But yeah, it's so different when we learned it in Kunming, and then when you
left
and go somewhere else. It's different. I mean, people don't understand us either. We have like the world's worst accents. So, why did you promote the most controversial places? Now, this can either mean two, I'm not sure. This can either mean Guangzhou or Xinjiang, so we'll answer both. Guangzhou, we didn't really mean to cause offence by that. The area that we stayed on was like rammed the day before with people with karaoke everywhere, and we just didn't make a video there. And then it was close to Chinese New Year and everyone went home and it was empty, but we'd waited to make the video there, so we kind of had to make it. And when we bought someone a beer, I'd seen that in loads of other people's videos and I thought it was really cool, so I just copied it. And yeah, at that time we'd only really been making videos for like 3 months, so we didn't still really know what we're doing, but we're still learning as we go.
But we didn't make up any content. Everything that we shown was real. And it was a bit frustrating when people were telling us that we would just randomly put a beer in front of rubbish for attention. Like, we're not like that. We're honest people. We're just showing it how it is. And unfortunately, that's the way it is. And every country you go to, you're going to find places like this. It wasn't trying to cause offence or prove a point. It's just what we saw.
It wasn't even that bad. We stayed in that area for like 8 days or something. There was so much happening. Just literally, as soon as we went out with the camera, everybody went home for Chinese New Year and everything's shut. But anyway, and Xinjiang, so it could be about Xinjiang. To be honest, we don't actually know anything about Xinjiang or why it's controversial. We were going to do research, but we thought, what's the point? Because we don't really like turning up places with like
political views or anything like that.
I always think if you turn up with like a negative story in your head, you sort of look for things. Like if someone tells you, oh, watch out for this in this area, it's going to be the first thing you notice, and you'll notice it everywhere you go, because there's a lot of places that we don't like, just cities or countries, and if we meet someone that's gone, we'll never say, oh, we don't like this for that, because it's going to be the first thing they'll notice when they get there, and it's not really fair. Plus, half the stuff that's written online about these places, the people that have wrote it have never even been anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah, and we didn't see anything out of the ordinary while we were there.
No, not at all.
Absolutely loved our time there.
Everybody was happy, everybody was friendly, the food was good, the buildings were beautiful.
Dancing everywhere, music. Yeah, loved it.
Do you travel with an itinerary?
Definitely not.
No, absolutely not. We plan our trips by looking at the map on our phone. We go here, 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 and here.
Or we meet someone that says, go here. That's actually why our China trip there ended up being so long, because we kept meeting so many people that were like, go here, go here, go here.
Yeah.
And it worked out well, because we loved going to Yunnan, which we were only going to go to Dali and back.
Well, actually at first we were only supposed to go and do the school in Kunming.
Yeah.
And that only came around like 4 days before. That opportunity only popped up 4 days before. And then everyone says we have to go down to Zishwambana, so we went there. Then we went all the way up. But nah, we don't pre-book anything. We book every hotel for one night, and if we like it, we'll stay.
Yeah.
Because I always think when you have like a train booked, it sort of closes the door for anything spontaneous to happen. Because when we were in Dali, we made really good friends with Leo and Daisy and their friends. One of their friends invited us to their housewarming party, and we had home cooked meal together. And that probably doesn't sound like much for the average Chinese person, but for two people from Scotland to be invited into someone's home in China for a party is like incredible.
Yeah.
But if we'd booked our train out of there for 2 days later, that would have never happened. So you have to kind of leave it open sometimes for things to happen.
I will say though, China is very easy to leave everything last minute. Other countries you might not be so lucky with booking trains, flights, etc. But the train prices don't actually fluctuate. They just are like a set price, which is really good. With flights, it's a different story. So I guess you're lucky in that sense when travelling China. You don't really have to worry too much about pre-booking everything unless you're travelling during the holiday season.
But we are really last minute. Even when we stayed for 2 weeks in Dali, we booked the hotel for an extra night every single day. It got later and later as we stayed up later with Daisy and Leo in the pub.
Too many parties.
Oh, far too many, but it was insane. But you can always tell when you're going to stay somewhere. Like, we would only plan to stay one night in Dali, and the first night we were there, we were like, nah, this is a sick place.
Same with Kashgar.
Yeah.
As soon as we walked through the town, we were like, nope, 2 nights isn't going to be enough.
But on the flip side, as soon as we arrived in Shangri-La, we were like, nah, 2 days here is enough.
It was one night we done.
Yeah, one night, because we arrived early and then left late, so That was enough. Top 3 foods in China. This will be hard to put into 3.
Yeah. Top 3 has to be the Wuhan ramen.
Number 1.
Absolutely insane. I know it's a very plain, some people say it's a boring dish, but
it's
you just
insane.
cannot get enough of that.
We've actually looked for it in Bangkok so many times. That is one thing that is going to be on our...
Yeah, we need to learn the recipe.
Yeah, we are having that. Not really a meal, but the Roger Mo, the Chinese hamburger.
Also insane.
Oh my goodness. We ate so many of these. It's like, almost, it's not really a burger. It's just like, you actually have like a big chunk of slow cooked beef in this little pastry, and it's so salty and there's chilies through it. It is unreal.
And the gravy.
Oh, it's just the best.
Number 3, I would say hot pot. It's such a fun dining experience. We've been out with many different groups of people for hot pot, and it's so sociable. Just, you can sit and like eat for hours. I absolutely love it.
What's your favourite hot pot?
Favourite has to be the spicy one.
Oh, I like the mushroom one.
Mushroom
hot pot was good. Mushroom
you could
hot pot
get
was
a mixed
good.
one.
Yeah, the half and half.
Yeah,
we had a half and half one in Chengdu. One was mushroom, one was spicy.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. Again, another little snack, baozi. Towards the end of our China trip, we were eating baozi twice a day.
Like 10 a day.
And we found in Dali there was Chongqing hot pot baozi, and they were just ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Another standout thing we ate was when we were with Lou in Beijing, and we had this fried fish, and it was in like vinegar. Was it vinegar and sugar?
Yeah, it was like sticky.
Unreal.
Like
Another thing I'm quite guilty of in China is, you know, the convenience stores. They have like this little hot thing. See, when we're going home and it's late at night, I always go in and I pick like 4 things. I love them so much. Honestly, it's like pure comfort food. We love them so much. There's these little circle meat pie things. They are so tasty. We dunk them in the noodles sometimes. Now, one of the best things that we ate in China, the barbecued eggplant.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Ridiculous. So it's like an eggplant, they barbecue it, they cut it, they slice it all open, they kind of butterfly it like chicken, and mix it with, they put like
chilies and
meat,
garlic,
meat all through it. Oh, it is unreal. Yeah, that's up there for me. What Chinese culture impressed us the most?
I think one thing I just love is the complete sense of community. I don't know if that comes from the culture, but like walking around the parks during the day, all the old people congregate together and they're singing, they're dancing, they're exercising. Every night there's always dance classes, whether it's exercise class
everywhere,
or the ethnic minority like dance performances. That's just one thing that we loved walking by, and we always stopped for like 10-15 minutes to watch it.
And also people in China will always give you things, like whether you're sitting in a restaurant, somebody that's sitting across the restaurant will come over and just for a tiny little plate of something they're eating so you can try it. Or there was even a time we were staying in Lijiang and the hotel owner, we were just sitting on our laptops and the guy just came up with 2 cans of beer for us and just there you go, and walked away. And I was just like, why has he done that? That's so nice. But that also happened at Chinese New Year. It was the night before Chinese New Year. We ended up sitting with a bunch of old men at the side of the road, drinking beer. We must have drank about 6 cans of beer. Yeah, they had hot pot, but we must have drank about 6 cans of beer in 20 minutes. In China, they cheers like every 2 seconds and you tan your drink. So that was fun. They didn't speak English.
They didn't speak English either. That's the thing, you can have fun with people without speaking English. Like
completely.
Just having a drink or bonding over good food.
We don't need to speak. We just cheers and laugh and take pictures together. Yeah, we sat with them for like about an hour at the side of the road. Just random guys. Never seen them before, never seen them again. And final question, what happened on the final night in Kashgar?
So it was our final night in Kashgar and we were in our hotel room. It was around 11 p.m. at night and we could hear screaming going on for maybe about a minute, but you know that way you can hear something and then suddenly you're like, that doesn't sound right. So I said to Alan and he went out and it was coming from the end corridor. So Alan walked down to see what was going on and the hotel door on the right hand side was opened and there was a very violent incident taking place in the room between a man and a woman. So Alan shouted and the door got shut. as the door got shut, me and Alan tried to open the hotel door, but unfortunately it had to be opened by a key card, so we couldn't get in. And by this point, security for the hotel came up, and thankfully they opened the door. And when the door got open, you could see there was glass and mirrors smashed all over the floor. It was a real mess. So we grabbed the lady, and she also had a small child with her. So we took them down the stairs into the hotel lobby where she felt a bit more safe. She was very upset, covered in blood. So we tried to stop the bleeding, made sure her and her child were okay, and of course the hotel staff called the police in the meantime, and I have to say the police arrived so fast, didn't they?
Yeah.
Within, I don't know, was it like 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Of course in these situations things feel like it's much longer, but it genuinely was very fast. I think because I don't know why, I just felt like I should comfort the woman. Again, she didn't speak any English, but I was just giving her like a massive cuddle, trying to distract her from what had happened because she was crying. And I think the man was maybe slightly annoyed as to me comforting her, and he tried to get by me at one point and sort of shoved me a little. Wasn't hard, wasn't sore, it was okay. Then we were sitting on the sofa, he began to stare me out in the eyes, and because I looked back at him, I decided that it would be nice to spit in my face, so that was lovely. But I think just with everything that happened, I did like hurt my hand a little bit, but it was fine. It's still a bit sore just now, but I'm just glad that we were able to help in that situation, because I don't really know how that would have ended if we weren't there that night. And the police came after and told us that the guy was lifted and whatever. I mean, I don't really care what happens, I'm just happy that the lady and our child were safe that night. Yeah,
and there was one thing that I maybe done wrong, didn't know it was wrong at the time. I took like a video of the guy just because it looked like he was about to like go at it, because he was like completely drunk. We went into the room after and there was like blood all over the floor, there was an empty bottle of whiskey and glass everywhere. But he looked like he was about to go again, and I don't know, sometimes my instinct is to record it because then there's no lies, but that caused a big issue in the end. That was actually the biggest issue, was the fact that I filmed it. But well, as we said earlier on in the video, we're also still learning. We don't really know how these things work, and in hindsight we maybe shouldn't have got involved, but it's just your instincts as well.
Yeah,
like
it's not the best situation to put yourself in,
no.
Especially when someone's drunk and bigger than me and things like that, but it's like, how can you sit back and listen to something like that? Yeah, I wouldn't really encourage anyone to put themselves in that situation. We're lucky that we were fine, but yeah. And
it's not a China thing. We spent 3.5 months in total across all our trips, and it's the first time we've ever seen any
filing, with the police,
even confrontation. We've never even seen people argue. Everyone just minds your own business. So it's not a China thing, it's just a unfortunate thing that,
and that happens all across the world.
They exist everywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but it didn't really ruin the trip. I wouldn't say we left on a sour note. It did. I mean, we did feel a bit edgy leaving, but nah, it's completely fine.
Yeah.
And the police were really nice when they turned up. They gave us cigarettes and
bought
us juice and cigarettes, and just smiled and
watching YouTube videos with TikTok.
They said don't fear, we're not against you, we're here with you. But yeah, it was a few weeks ago. Shannon's hand's getting better.
I can move it, look.
Yeah,
it's only actually my thumb, which is so annoyed because I can't sit and scroll on my phone.
She needs it for scrolling. But yeah, hope you enjoyed our Q&A from China,
and hopefully we'll be back sometime in the future.
Yes, so thank you again to everyone who's watched the videos, all the generous people who have super thanks, and we hope you follow us along for our incredible journey in gorgeous Pakistan. Thank you again.
Bye.